Hey guys, as some of you may know, I wrote a couple books, one about energy healing and one about the transhumanist agenda that is being pushed on us right now. And yeah, I deal a lot with energy, spirituality, technology, and how they all combine. And I got an interesting email from someone this week who had seen me on the Tinfoil Hat podcast and had some questions about voice of God technology and hearing voices in the head. So I thought I would do a video to kind of clear up some misconceptions about what's going on, hearing voices in the head, what it could be, etc. And this person was hearing a negative voice in their head, and so were family members. And I think they were concerned that it was voice of God technology. And yes, the military has this voice of God technology, which can project a voice into your head. Do I think they're doing that on a mass scale to people? No. I think if they're actually using that technology, it's probably just for like their high level targets, um, not on the general public. What they're doing to the general public is that they're using media propaganda and fear based tactics to kind of lower our frequency, make us more susceptible to control, and to use the law of attraction to get us focused on the things that they want to occur so that we'll use our own conscious creator powers to create what they want to happen by influencing us. But it's possible. They do have the technology to project a voice into your head. In this case, though, upon hearing this woman's story, I determined that what was most likely the situation with her was there was an earthbound entity at their location, and I recommended spirit release, which is something that I do as a Reiki master. If you sometimes, now we have all kinds of energy around us. There's the human visible light spectrum is very small, and there's a whole world of energy and spirits and dimensions and everything all around us, and we just see a very small part of it. And you can, there's higher spiritual energy that can communicate with you, and there's also what we would call lower spiritual energy, or just more dense, more service to self out, or they could be negative, like a depressed, traumatized spirit. And they find people to mess with. And so I recommended spirit release for this person. You can do spirit release on a person or a location. But yeah, we can be influenced by our technology, like your Wi-Fi, can definitely have harmful effects on your body and your mental state. And there is an attempt, as I explain in my book, to put materials into the body that can connect us to technology to read us and send information back and forth. Um, yeah, there's that going on too, but then there's also a whole spiritual world. Like there's earthbound spirits that if you're in a lower state, you're depressed, especially for people who use harmful drugs and alcohol, it can lower your energetic protections and allow like an earthbound spirit to attach to you, and it can, give you harmful thoughts and get into your head. And yeah, if that's happened to you, I would recommend seeing a Reiki master and getting a spirit release. And you definitely want to work on cleansing your energy regularly, processing your emotions in a healthy way, dealing with your trauma in a healthy way, and then raising your spiritual vibration so that your energy is stronger and these things don't have any power over you. And ultimately, these things only have the power we give them. So we have to be strong, we have to be powerful, we have to tell ourselves that we are strong and powerful. But yeah, if you have a problem like this, where you're hearing a negative voice and you think you might have an attachment, get a spirit release. Or make sure it's not your own voice. Make sure it's not yourself telling yourself harmful things because you're caught in negative loops. And if that's happening, I would definitely recommend reading my book, Synergy, A Modern Healer's Guide to Complete Bioenergy Wellness, because there's a lot of great info in there for dealing with how technology affects us as well as just traumas we've been through in our life, our environment, etc. But yeah, basically, and if you're if you're clairvoyant, clairaudient, some of us are clairaudient. If you have been working on yourself spiritually and raising your vibration, you can have a voice in your head that's a very positive voice. See, that's the difference. You want to connect to things. If you're going to make an attempt to connect to the spirit world, don't you want to connect to the highest possible spirits that can help you instead of like a lower spirit that is traumatized themselves and wants to harm? You know what I mean? You want to, like, for example, when I was young and I was naive and I didn't know any better, I was very interested in the spirit world, and I knew there was a whole unseen world, and it fascinated me. And I got into some things I shouldn't have. Would do the Ouija board and drink alcohol and all kinds of things that are not very smart to do. If you're going to be working in spirituality, you want to raise your vibration, you want to call in for spiritual protection from your angels and guides. Definitely, like, if you're going to do that, you have to do it the right way. And yeah, when I was young, I did stupid things because I didn't know any better. And I called in some things that I shouldn't have. And when I was older, I had to deal with it. And now I know better and I help other people with the same thing. And for example, like when I pass like a person who's having mental health issues on the street, I feel like those people have a lot of attachments and they need a lot of help. But it's not that they're crazy, it's that they've just allowed themselves to be attacked. So, yeah, if you're hearing voices, if it's like a loving, positive voice that just gives you a calm, positive message or some insight into your life, that's probably like your higher self or your spirit guides. And that's positive. But if you're hearing a negative voice, then you might want to look into spirit release, cleansing your energy, healing your traumas. And there's a lot of great info about that in my books. So if you want to check them out, you can link both of them at my website, wuwwoman.com. And if you want a Reiki or energy healing session, you can learn more about that there too. But I just wanted to clear that up for you guys because there's nothing to be afraid of. Like, we can deal with all these things. It's just you need to know what's going on and know what to do. So I just kind of wanted to take the mystery and fear out of this whole invisible world and hearing voices and all of that because there's really nothing to be afraid of. We can deal with it at the end of the day. So I hope you guys have a good one. I hope that helps.